Good evening, everybody. We are going to get started here in just a moment. We are going to have our other presenters log in and we will kick things off. All right, looks like we have a few more people signing in here, but we are really excited to have you all join us this evening and learn about our degree completion program for respiratory therapists. Okay. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Megan Kokenge, and I'm the Director of Enrollment Services here at Nebraska Methodist College. And I'm joined by two of my colleagues that I'll have introduce themselves as well. Oh, Lisa, it looks like you're muted.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Fuchs, and I am the Program Director as well as the advisor for the program. Welcome.
And I'm Michelle Olson. I am the Recruitment and Admissions Coordinator for this program, and I'm excited to share information with you today.
All right, thank you. Okay, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started. So as I mentioned at the top of the call, this information session this evening is our degree completion program for respiratory therapists. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to go over the admissions process. We're going to talk about the program format and curriculum and opportunities that are available. The presentation is being recorded and all of our participants are in listen-only mode. However, you are free to submit any questions or inquiries that you might have via the Q&A button, which you'll find on your toolbar. And your toolbar is likely either at the top or bottom of your screen. You can also submit any chats that you might have, and we'll be happy to answer those questions at the end of the presentation during our Q&A portion. We also have some attendee polls so we can learn a little bit more about who we have joining us this evening. So I'm going to ask you a few questions here, and if you could share a little bit of information about yourself, that would be really helpful. Okay. So the first item that we are interested in learning is, what is your current level of education? So I know we have some students who are prospective students who are already done and practicing as an RT, and then we have a few students who are in their associate degree program right now. If you could share with us where you stand, that'll be helpful to us so we know who we have in the room. Okay, so we have a little bit of both. We have some participants who have already graduated from their respiratory therapy program, and then we have some participants who are currently enrolled in an RT program. So that is great. Okay, the next question that we are interested in is, when are you interested in potentially starting a degree completion program? So this program can start any of our 3 terms, summer, fall, or spring. So if you know when you'd like to start or you're still thinking about it, that's okay as well. Okay, equally split. We will talk about all 3 terms this evening, so that is great to know. Okay, and our last poll, if you could share with us how you heard about Nebraska Methodist College. So you can pick multiple options if you have a few different ways that you've heard about the college and our degree completion program. Okay. Okay, so we have some alumni on the call. We have some RTs that work for Nebraska Methodist Health System, and we also have some others. So those of you that heard from us in other ways. So this is great to see. All right, thank you very much for participating in those. That helps us kind of gear our conversations and make sure that we address the right information for everybody this evening. Okay, so with that, I'm going to hand things over to Michelle, and she's going to share a little bit more about the college with you all.
All right. Well, good evening. We're so glad to have you with us. And we just want to give you an overview about our college and that we're very proud of. One of the great things for our program is we do have a 13-to-1 faculty to student ratio. And the benefit of that really is that one-on-one time with your faculty. They are always, you will not be a number with us. Your faculty will know your name and what your goals are for the program. We are very proud of our pass rates for our programs. Our most recent NCLEX pass rate was 93%. We also have not raised our tuition in the past 4 years. We really know, especially in these times, that we're trying to keep it affordable for our applicants. We have a large area of study. We have over 40 programs that start from our certificate programs like a CNA and all the way through the doctorate. And, our students, we are blessed to be affiliated with the Methodist program and the Methodist Hospital, and which really for our 2019 undergrad students, over 96% were employed within 6 months of graduation. So that is our end goal, that you can get a good job, and get started right away. All right, so Nebraska Methodist College, we are a private college and all we do is healthcare. So we are experts on that. We are now celebrating over 129 years of service of educating health professionals. We are over 1,200 students that are currently enrolled here on campus and on our online programs, just like this one. And as I stated before, we do have all different types of programs that go through certificate to the doctorate. All right, we are going to hand over to Dr. Fuchs to go over the program.
Good evening again. If you have any questions while I'm speaking, you can type them in the chat and we can address those after the program. Courses for the program are in a 5, 8, or 15-week format with a scheduled break every 5 weeks. We have collaborative interdisciplinary learning opportunities, as some of the classes are interdisciplinary in nature. For instance, health education has some radiology students and PTA students that are in that course. And the learning is very rich, learning from other disciplines. We have both synchronous and asynchronous courses and learning opportunities. Synchronous meaning we may meet online as a group. Most of the courses are asynchronous, meaning that you will have a schedule with assignments that have a due date and you'll turn it in at that time. There are 2 advanced practice tracks. One is education and research, and the other is healthcare management and leadership. They're flexible online format. There is no clinical at all with this bachelor degree program. And if you come to us with admissions, when you're going through admissions and you have the advanced RRT credential, please tell Michelle. We can look that up and get a copy of your credential. And what that does is it awards you 6 credits, or meaning you do not have to take 2 of the courses in the degree completion. So this is a nice opportunity in this program. So with the RRT to BSRT programs, we know with education and research, some of the high priority classes that are beneficial in this day and age are health information management. This is one of the courses that you would not have to take if you come with the RRT into the program. We have education strategies for pulmonary patients. And in some years, we've taken a certification through the AARC, which is our national organization, and you receive a certificate as a pulmonary disease educator. There's case management and the respiratory therapy practitioner. Again, COPD is one of the highest readmission diseases across the nation. And so you'll learn ways that a case manager would work. And after earning your bachelor's, you do have the opportunity to sit for that certification, much like a nurse, you can be a case manager. The concentration for this track or concentration is 5-week courses. So in a 15-week time frame, you would have 3 5-week courses, one at a time. The management, healthcare management leadership concentration focuses on leadership in healthcare, health information management, human resources, and concentration in a blend of 5 and 8-week courses. So the 5-week courses will be over the 8-week courses, and the 5-week courses blended will be overlapped by a 3-week time period where you may be taking 2 courses in that 3-week time period. This is just a sample of our fact sheet and a plan of study. And this is pretty much what I use for my advising sheet. So you can see laid out, we have an educated citizen core curriculum. And the program is basically, if you are an alumni, it's going to be around a 12-month degree completion time frame. If you are bringing in transfer credit from another organization that is a COARC accredited program, depending on what you bring in for that transfer credit, you're looking at between 12 months and 15 months to complete the program. But basically in the summer, you're going to start with 2 5-week courses. And in the summer, it'll be 5 weeks again, and then a break, and then 5 weeks. So not 2 at the same time. And then you hop into fall and spring, and the courses are laid out. Advancement opportunities for the BSRT are advancement in a career ladder at your organization with those credentials, opportunities for management and leadership promotions, diagnostics, the corporate world, meaning you could be in equipment sales or equipment education, pharmaceuticals is another area. Technology is always advancing, and I had a student that came with a electrical engineer background, and she had a family member that had a healthcare scare, and it kind of interested her. Respiratory therapy actually interests her, so she looked into it and chose Methodist. And with her background and her thought process, I said, why don't you do something in research with technology with your electrical engineer background? And that kind of sparked an interest. So there are a lot of opportunities. Education and teaching is another one. You could be an educator and work at a school. You could do patient education or discharge planning at an organization. And then care management or case management and wellness coaching, those are 2 classes that are embedded in the program. And another one that's not on here is telemedicine. So telemedicine is become popular with COVID. And again, you could use this practice in a physician's office. You can work under a physician if you have a bachelor's. And the opportunities are endless, especially with rural medicine and keeping pulmonary patients healthy, as well as doing some prevention education. This is a quote from a current student. She wrote, "I went back to school to receive my bachelor's degree in respiratory therapy so that I could be a better supervisor for my staff. I was promoted in October of 2019, and the only thing I had at that time was experience as a respiratory therapist. I wanted to be a better leader, and to do that, I knew I needed tools to be able to lead employees. I am a Nebraska Methodist alumni, and I graduated in 2009 with an associate degree. Nebraska Methodist College had provided me with a great education, and I knew there was no denying where I wanted to obtain my bachelor's degree." And that came from Nicole Minardi.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. That was great information. Now we're going to move on to the admissions process and criteria. I will go over what is required and giving you some helpful hints for a successful application. We're going to start with the criteria. Graduation from a co-arc approved respiratory care program is required. We will need proof of your RRT certification and license. The CRT certification may be accepted as long as you have achieved the RRT prior to completing the bachelor's program with us. A minimum GPA of a 2.5, and we will need your official college transcripts. When you do start your application, you will complete the fulfillment of technical standards during that application process. And also, if there are any non-Nebraska residents, you will need to meet the state authorizations, and you can find those on our website. All right, so the first step in any application is you must start the application, and you will find that on our Nebraska Methodist College website. The other requirements are a written statement, the program career awareness questionnaire, and those transcripts and licensure that we discussed in the previous slide. All right, so Dr. Fuchs did talk through the start dates for the program. We do have a very flexible options for you. There's a summer, a fall, and a spring start. So we will work together. Dr. Fuchs and I will work together to find what would be the best start for you. The summer semester classes actually begin on May 17th. So we really encourage you to get started on an application if you're interested in summer. And we really would like to have those completed by April 5th. And then once you are accepted and deposited, then you will be able to register for classes for spring. Fall will begin in August. August 16th is the start date. We definitely, if you could have that application completed by early June, that would be fabulous. And then January, spring of 22, classes will start on January 3rd. So we would really like to have those applications completed and deposited by mid-November. So if you have questions on what would be the appropriate start time for you, we're happy to help you walk through that and take a look at your transcripts to determine that. All right. Oh, oops. All right. So if I, oops.
Sorry.
That's all right.
There we go. It's getting click happy here.
All right. That's okay. All right, financial aid. We do have a dedicated financial aid counselor here at NMC for this program, and they are fantastic. I always encourage everybody to, if you have questions, to really reach out to them, set up an appointment, and just ask what questions you have. They are really great. Really great at what they do. You will need to complete a FAFSA to be eligible for financial aid and any type of scholarships with Nebraska Methodist College. Our FAFSA code is 009937. And the FAFSA application is actually currently open. We do accept any most external scholarships, and we definitely encourage you to check into with your employer. There may be some tuition assistance offered through your HR department, so definitely check there as well. All right, so one of the scholarships we do offer is our Upfront Merit Scholarship. This is based upon your GPA. You do not need to complete an application for the scholarship. And the scholarship will be awarded at the time of your acceptance. All right, so that is based on your GPA. So if you have a GPA of a 3.6 or higher, that would be $4,000 per year. A 3.3 would be $3,000, and a 3.0 or higher would be a $2,000 per year scholarship. We do have some additional scholarship opportunities. One of them is a Nebraska Methodist College Legacy Grant, and that is if you have a sibling that is a current student, there would be a $2,000 one-time award for you for the college. If you are a member of a United Methodist Church, you would be awarded a $1,000 one-time award for being an active member of that church. If you have attended a community college and you earned the Phi Theta Kappa, if you've received that award, then you would be eligible for a scholarship for that outstanding performance with your GPA. And if in the past you've been affiliated with HOSA, and if you were in high school and you were part of a HOSA chapter, you could also earn a one-time $1,000 award for that, for being a member of HOSA.
Okay, I'm going to walk you through the outline of costs for the program. So the tuition rate for the BSRT degree completion program is $580 a credit hour. Our students are required to pay a $100 enrollment deposit at the time of acceptance to hold their seat in the program, and that $100 deposit is credited towards your first semester's tuition bill. This program is light on fees. Our degree completion BSRT students do pay a technology fee each semester, and that's $200 in the fall and spring semester and $100 in the summer. And then they are also required to pay a one-time background check fee of $55 and a one-time compliance tracker fee of $35. Okay, so we do have some commonly asked questions that we are going to walk through. Lisa, I'm going to go ahead and have you turn on your camera and microphone again, because a lot of these will probably be directed towards you. But one of the most common questions that we get from students looking into this program is, I'm working full-time as an RT. Would I be able to complete a program like this?
Yes, I would say you have to be disciplined, and I'm a recent alumni and graduate of Nebraska Methodist College. I just went through the doctoral program myself, and it does take a little bit of time, to kind of get a schedule going. But once you do, you just have to be disciplined and dedicate time. And as you know, you work 12-hour shifts, and you work a couple in a row or whatever, you need a day to rest, and then you've got plenty of time to get your homework in. Assignments are always due on Sundays by midnight, so that's the deadline.
Okay. The next common question we get is, will you take transfer credit?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we will for most things. If you want to add on to that, Michelle or Megan, anything?
Yeah, absolutely. So as Lisa shared towards the beginning of the presentation, there was that sample plan of study, and you probably noticed a lot of courses that you previously completed as a part of your initial respiratory therapy program. So classes like lifespan development and English composition and whatnot. So even if you completed your RT program at another institution, we will gladly review those credits for transfer credits to see what will transfer in. When students are deposited, they receive an official transfer credit review. However, Michelle, who serves as your admissions coordinator, is happy to do an unofficial transfer credit review at any time during the application process. So she's happy to walk through that. So that way you can really see what your plan of study is going to look like and how long your program is potentially going to be if you are coming to us from an outside institution. Okay, so the next common question that we get is, how much time per week will I need to commit?
You know, once you get a plan going, I would say, you know, you're going to have to read. So, you know, reading is probably 3 hours a week. Then you're going to have to research for your assignment. That would be a couple hours, and then a couple hours to write it. We do use discussion post assignments, or usually a paper or a project. So I would say about 8 hours a week if you break it up into little bits.
Mm-hmm. And then Lisa, is there recorded lecture or anything like that that the students will have to listen to?
There are some recordings. There's videos sometimes you have to watch. There are supplemental handouts. There's a lot of additional pieces to the program.
Okay. All right. The next question that we will hear is, what is involved in the capstone project?
That's a good question. So the capstone project comes in the spring semester. So you've went to school summer, fall, and then spring. The capstone project will be the only course that is 15 weeks long. And for the capstone project, what you're doing is you're building an entire program from every piece of your coursework. So you're taking pieces of your coursework and you're putting it into building an end product, which is a program. You know, you're doing cost analysis, you're determining who your stakeholders are, who is your leadership that you're going to present to get that buy-in. And then, of course, your patients. Who are your patient population? And so I would say in the last 2 years, we've had a cystic fibrosis program. We've had a COPD or emphysema. Asthma comes up most commonly. This year we had a bronchopulmonary dysplasia program, which is the first I've seen with this group of students. And so this person is working with children, with premature babies, and preventing severe lung disease. So it can be anything pulmonary disease related.
Okay. And then the last question that we will typically get, Michelle, I'll give this to you, is, when can I get started?
So we, as we talked about that transfer credit, we will definitely take a look. As Megan said, I am happy to take a look at your unofficial transcripts and just see how it kind of matches up to what the best start date would be for you. So it's definitely individualized, and I will work closely one-on-one with you to recommend what that start date will be. And Dr. Fuchs will also be a part of that conversation when it comes to, building a schedule for you once you have completed all of your application materials and deposited for the program.
One thing I'd like to add, Michelle, is if you do need to take any additional arts and science courses, 98% of them are online. So it truly is an online program.
Yeah, so it's really built for if a student's goal is to complete this program 100% online, we will work with you to make that happen. So yes, absolutely. Okay, so now is the time where our participants, if you have any questions, you can submit those questions we do have a Q&A button where you can submit questions, or you are more than welcome to use the chat function as well. So it looks like we do have a few questions coming in. All right, Lisa, one question that has come in is, do students attend both full-time and part-time, or will I have to attend full-time?
You know, that's the beauty of this program is it's flexible. Some students want to go at a slower pace because that works with their lifestyle and their work schedule. So I would say the majority of students will do full-time and knock it out, in a year to a year and a half. But if you choose to do part-time, you sure can.
Okay. So the question has come in regarding financial aid and the scholarships. And that question is if they do need to apply for those scholarships. For the upfront merit scholarships, you do not need to apply. That, as Michelle kind of shared, that is awarded at the time of admission. So when you get your acceptance letter, you'll also get your upfront merit scholarship letter based off your cumulative GPA. So we'll look at all of your transcripts, and that's how that scholarship is awarded. And the really nice thing with that scholarship is it's awarded for students who take 9 credits and above. So even if you do maybe fall below that full-time 12 credit hour status, that scholarship is eligible for students who take 9 credits or more per semester. So if you do decide to go down to that part-time status, that does help. Okay, so this is a great question, and we'll go ahead and answer this live. So the question has come in, have any of your graduates gone on to do case management? Is this more difficult as an RT as opposed to an RN? That's a great question.
It depends on where you work, how big your organization is, and if they have that job available or that role. And that's part of the capstone is creating the need or bringing forward the need of maybe a case manager to work with the pulmonary population, and selling that to your leadership. For instance, with readmission, COPD readmission is millions of dollars a year, and especially the 30-day readmission. So if you can sell that to your leadership, when you design that capstone project and they do a cost analysis, that could be possibly a position that's created. You could create your own position maybe.
Okay. Another question that's come in is what type of pay change or promotion might a student see if they go on to pursue their bachelor's degree?
Again, that depends on your organization, whether they recognize a bachelor's as a higher pay grade. Promotion-wise, supervisors, management, leadership, again, educators or telemedicine, you have to have a minimum of a bachelor's.
Okay. Lisa, what are what are
Those
some of
great
the
questions.
what are some of the roles you've seen some of your alumni work into with a bachelor's degree?
A supervisor, a manager. I know sales, like medical sales, Alpha One representative, where they go to physicians' offices and they educate them on the Alpha One antitrypsin test and the importance of it. So you can educate, you can sell equipment. Those are some of the positions that I'm thinking of right away firsthand.
And you will see some bachelor's degree prepared students maybe working as instructors at community college type programs. Is that correct?
It is. When you're an educator, you always have to be 1 degree above whatever degree you're teaching. So if it's an associate, you sure could teach as with having a bachelor's. With you guys, with being a bachelor's, you have to have a minimum of a master's or higher. So it's always 1 degree above. That's a good question.
Okay. All right. Are there any other questions? All right. Well, with that, we will leave you with some next steps. Michelle, do you want to share with the group what they can do next if this is something that sounds like they're interested in?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would love to, if you start your application, you can do that through our website. We, again, are aiming for, if you are interested in a summer start, the sooner the better. If I could take a peek at your transcripts, your unofficial transcripts, I can definitely take a look at that and see if the summer is a great start for you. I also want to, when you are completing your application and you're working on your written statement, I definitely encourage you to take your time, put some of your personality into your writing. Why are you interested in the bachelor's program and what track you're interested in, and definitely have somebody proofread your work before you submit those materials. Also, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to give me a call. I'm also happy to set up a one-on-one Zoom meeting with you to answer your questions, and we can kind of walk through the coursework together and match up your transfer credits so that you have a good understanding of why it would be a good start for the semester that we recommend.
Okay. All right. So with that, we are going to wrap up this evening, but we appreciate you all joining us tonight, and we hope to hear from you again and see your applications and your application materials. We do, I believe, had a few on the call that have already been accepted to the program, so we look forward to welcoming you this summer and fall. But with that, please let us know if you have any questions, and we look forward to working with you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.